Good morning and welcome to the NuSpecies Live. I'm Jillian.
And I'm Aston.
All right. Those of you joining us today for the first time, NuSpecies is a natural health company. Our mission is to help our clients live better and longer. And we invent and manufacture. Oh, we lost Aston. I'm sure he'll come back. We invent and manufacture our own unique line of raw, liquid, powerful plant-based supplements and herbal medicine. And these formulas are all designed to help your body be as resilient as possible against the toughest of health challenges. And I think our reputation speaks for itself on that note. And if you don't know it yet, you can check out all of our testimonials on YouTube. So what is a good health choice though? And that is different for each of us. So that is why we do this Q&A every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. so that you can get the answers to your questions that will help you continue on your own unique health journey. So we're happy to have you with us today. Aston made it back. Let me grab him. All right, there you are, Aston.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
I just finished the intro while you were coming back.
Okay, wonderful.
Yeah, Aston's over in Bronxville today. As you can tell, he's at the store and he will be there until 6 o'clock. So if you are local in the New York, Westchester, New York City area, you can go see him. The address is on our website, on our contact us page, or on our app. If you are watching today and you have not yet subscribed to our YouTube channel, we need you to subscribe. We want to benefit from all that YouTube has to offer, and a lot of their perks only come with increased subscribers and more view time. So they want us to not only have a certain amount of subscribers, we have to have people actually watching our content. So we did make it over 1,000. Thank you so much. We're up to 1,038 subscribers now, which I'm sure in the YouTube world sounds like a drop in a bucket, but that's exciting for us because that's 1,038 people that we get to help. And I don't know anyone in my life who can help that many people. So we are excited to have you here. So please subscribe to us. You can also hit the notification bell. That'll tell you whenever we go live, which is helpful because maybe I'll forget to send an email or a notification from our app and you'll still be notified. All right.
And this is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So
Yes.
all of you, we want you to support those women and men to a much less extent, primarily women. Support all the women in your lives who have breast cancer, survive breast cancer. And of course, if they need help, we at NuSpecies, we know what to do, whether it's diet or lifestyle, or just our NuSpecies programs or formulas and our products, a combination of all the above. So if you have friends and family who need help, you know what to do. And you just can't tell them, you just can't ask them, you have to bring them. I can tell you one of our clients of about 20 years, his name is Gibson, and he's a limousine driver, so he gets to meet a lot of people. But whenever he refers anyone to NuSpecies, which he does very, very frequently, he calls me and then he calls them and conference them in. That's how he introduced every client because he said, Aston, if I just give them your card, give them your number, I know they're not going to call. So I take them to you, take them to the NuSpecies stores. So that's what you all should do with these family members. Because a lot of people are shy, you know that. A lot of people are shy just to make a phone call, just to face a new person. And then you're asking someone to talk to a stranger about the worst thing going for them in their lives. They have a health condition or a disease, life threatening. Just imagine the fear that they must be under to talk to this complete stranger about, their health and then provide them lab reports. Are you kidding me? So you have to take that extra step, bring them to a NuSpecies office, or call us at NuSpecies, not just me, call any one of us at NuSpecies, conference them on. If they deserve help from you, then just that one extra step so you can help them.
Yeah. June says, I thank Kayla for introducing me to NuSpecies. Yes, that's excellent. Kayla used to work for us, and we definitely get a lot of great evangelists out of our employees, people who work for us. Um, NRE says, good morning. I like the New Genesis taste. I say, yeah, it's a
Wonderful,
relief,
great.
right? Finally, a formula that tastes good.
So I've been getting a lot of feedback from a lot of people.
Hmm.
I don't know if we have time to just spend 30 seconds
Yeah.
and just pull up some of the feedback we have gotten. I think it's worth it. And I'm not going to mention anyone's chronic issues, just the, general feedback that people are given. Let's see, here it is.
Yeah, just so
Just to
you
tell
know,
you a
as long as
few.
Acid and I are chatting away, you can still post your questions in the chat. Instagram, keeping an eye on you. Where are you? Or anyone over there on Instagram? I just don't have you on my main page, but I still can see if you have any questions. So even though we're chatting away, it doesn't mean you can't post your questions, your thoughts, your comments. That's what we're here for, your agenda. But we'll keep talking until you have something to say.
All right, just to give you a few of the comments, feedback I've gotten so far. One gentleman says, New Genesis is working extremely well in just 1 to 2 weeks. Another says, a lady says, New Genesis gives me 1,000 horsepower. Oh my Lord. And by the way,
Mm,
in case you all don't know, 1 horsepower can pull down any concrete house, any concrete mansion, 1 horsepower can pull it down. Another lady says, I feel like a queen after taking New Genesis for about a month. And then it goes on and on. It's having people with their A1C and prostate and I don't know, infections. One lady told me yesterday that she had an infection that couldn't go away, and she just took New Genesis, not for the infection. And if she woke up one morning, the mucus was gone, and she was no longer coughing, and she's been this way for the last couple weeks. So just a few of the
mhm.
many, many, many feedback I've gotten so far from people. So if you have any feedback, even if you just like the taste of NuSpecies or just like NuSpecies, put it in the chat. And if you have any questions about it, put it in the chat.
Yep. So June says,
If
I
you
feel
have any criticisms about it, put it in the chat. So let's get the good, the bad, and the ugly. Everything that you have, put it in the chat. All right, Joe. Sorry. Bye.
June says, I feel different in a good way since adding new gen. I can't put my finger on it. That's fine. We'll take good no matter what that form is. A lot of people feel sick and they can't put their finger on it and they get no diagnosis. So I'm happy to feel good for no clear reason.
Well, a lot of people are sick, very, very sick, and the doctors can't put their finger on it either.
All right. So Darnett is asking, good morning,
Mhm.
everyone. What can I take if my white blood cells are low? She is doing chemotherapy. And then
Mhm.
also, is it true that I should not take B12 while I'm doing chemotherapy?
So the first question, so your white blood cells or red blood cells are going to be down while you're doing chemo or radiation. And for a lot of people, if you take in certain medication, a lot of medication, not just destroy red blood cells or white blood cells, the medication can affect the if the efficiency or proficiency of the bone marrow making red blood cells or white blood cells. That's where most of the blood it's made in the bone marrow. So if anyone is taking medication exposed to chemicals, and medication, especially chemo radiation, it will, not even may, it will affect your red blood cells and white blood cells. So what you can do, Darnett, you can, if you're taking one LNU and it's not working, you may need to take the LNU 9 and the LNU 25 together. Maybe you take one in the morning, one in the evening. And if your white blood cells are below 3, you may want to take an ounce of each to power your blood marrow to make more red blood cells. So maybe the chemo is just settling in your body too much, and it's affecting the production of the white and red blood cells. So if you're taking an LNU and it's not working as fast as it should, You may need to get two L-Nus, get the L-Nu 9 and the L-Nu 25, and take an ounce of each for a week or two just to power up your bone marrow. Okay. As for what was the second question?
Well, we'll get to it in a sec because it overlaps with taking LNU. But have you seen where folks who are on chemotherapy, their blood levels stay normal if they're taking new
No,
species?
never. Well,
Even
new species helps
Mhm.
to power the bone, rebuild the bone marrow to produce white blood cells or red blood cells faster. The same thing will go for women who have heavy menses, and it's so bad that they're losing too much blood in any of their cycles. New species help to rebuild the bone marrow to produce the blood faster. So the bone marrow is not going to produce more blood than the genes are designed to make, just so you all know. But if you're taking medication or if you're losing too much blood, you lose oxygen, you lose the efficacies of your genes and DNA. So by damaging your genes and DNA, or if the body is anemic for oxygen, well, iron is what they usually say anemia is for, but you can have too little oxygen, the bone marrow is not going to function. The body in general is not going to function the way it should, because oxygen is the most important food for human life. And that goes for the genes, the DNA, the cells, the organs, the bone marrow, everything. Without oxygen, the body's not adequate oxygen, the body's not going to function the way it should.
Mm.
So the LNU will help, especially if you take 1 ounce, 2 ounces a day. It's going to help to build back up the bone marrow, meaning that it's going to help to support the genes, the DNA, the cells, the tissue in the bone marrow. It's going to have to fix them faster so they can start producing. But once they're damaged, they're not going to function the way they should in producing the red blood cells or white blood cells the way they're programmed to program. So you all know that the DNA and the genes are just like computer programs. Everything in our body is programmed. And any interference from chemicals or infections or inflammation, that's what prevent the body from functioning, the programs from running the way they should.
Mm. Okay. So now this overlaps with her question about, is it true that she should not take B12 while doing chemotherapy? And obviously we need to
So
define different forms of B12. I'm happy to go into the whole B vitamins thing if you want, but let me know when you want me to jump in about that.
um so and this is for all of you who are on the stream. B12 and B6, if you're taking them natural, if they're from natural sources, whether plants or otherwise, B12 and B6 are the two most important vitamins supporting genes and DNA. The two most important. Why? You can Google it. These are the only two B vitamins that assist the body to make glutathione. Glutathione is the most important enzyme in the human body that helps to fight cancer, other disease conditions, help to repair the genes and DNA. There is no enzyme in our body that is more important than glutathione. And without adequate B6 and B12, the body is not going to make enough to protect you or protect us or to fight diseases if we have any kind of condition. So you need cobalamin, you need B6 and B12, you need all the B vitamins if they're from natural sources. Now, darn it, was a great question.
She
If
just
you're
says, also
taking,
remember that I also have lupus. I don't know if that
right,
changes
so
your mindset.
no, it doesn't. So
But
if you are taking all of you, if you're taking vitamins that are made from compounds, chemicals, those compounds or chemicals will affect any medication you're taking because the medication are compounds, they're chemicals, and you're taking more chemicals, you're going to have more side effects from the medication you're taking. And yes, Vitamins that are from compounds or chemicals will damage your body, will damage your digestive tract, will damage your liver, will damage your pancreas, will damage your genes and DNA because they're compounds, chemicals, they're magnetic, they're chemicals. All chemicals are magnetic. So because they're magnetic and our DNA and genes are magnetic because they're made from those critical chemicals that you all know: oxygen, carbon, phosphorus, hydrogen, nitrogen. They're all electrophilic, meaning that they're all magnetic. They all have magnetism. So any chemicals you put in your body, that's why infections are so bad, people, because infections, viruses, and bacteria, they're made from chemicals. And that's why they're so deadly. And that's why they damage the genes and DNA. So yes, Dorned, if someone is taking any kind of foods or supplements from chemicals or compounds that are made in the lab, yes, it will interfere with any medication. There will be side effects from those compounds, and they will interact with the medication. And that's why we make NuSpecies from whole foods. All our formulas are made from whole foods. Therefore, they will not interfere or interact with any medication you're taking. So that was a great question, Darnett.
So, just to go further on that, keep in mind when your doctors tell you to not take a certain vitamin or mineral, they're usually thinking about the standard supplement, and most of the standard supplements are made in a lab. They never came from nature. Also, the standard way to use supplements is to cherry pick the vitamins or minerals that you want to take, rather than working with the way nature naturally provides them for our body. So let's say you were to eat a plant. You're not going to get just B12 from a plant. If a B12, if a plant has a good concentration of B12, it's also going to have many other vitamins and minerals and phytochemicals and enzymes. There's a whole ecosystem in that plant that your body is utilizing to process those nutrients. When humans reverse engineer nature, so we say, oh, this plant is good for B12, is good, it's helpful because it has a lot of B12 in it. So let's just take B12 and cut out the plant. It doesn't work that way. Now, the B12 is not working in the same way for your body than when it was present in its natural habitat, right? So this is why NuSpecies focuses most of all of our formulas on whole food. So either you're getting the actual whole food, or we have extracted a certain nutrient directly from a whole food source. There's nothing in our products that ever came, no nutritional ingredient in our products that ever was just made in a lab. And so that's why a lot of the concerns that people typically have about vitamins or minerals or supplements don't apply to our products. And I would venture to say 100% of the time that's true, but we'll always leave room for maybe some strange or rare exceptions. So Darnett, Asin's recommending you're taking L-Nu9, L-Nu25. That has the additional B vitamins that we add into it, but it also has all of the whole food ingredients in it. And those B vitamins, you're not just getting B12. You're not just taking doses of B12 straight into your body, which your body really doesn't benefit from that. If anything, it could cause harm. With our formula, you're getting all the B vitamins that work together as a package, plus all of the other important components of nutrition that come with the whole food herbs. So I don't believe, and we have had many, Asin, probably thousands of clients on chemotherapy who are also using our L-Nu formula.
Oh yeah, we have had tens of thousands, I would say, worldwide. And that's another point that we should make to you all, and to you, Darnett, in particular. We have never had a client whose medication were interacting with NuSpecies, or NuSpecies was interacting with their medication. So that's an extraordinary statement for me to make, but it's true. At least we haven't had one that's been reported to us. Let's put it that way. After almost 2 decades, it's a long time to go. And it's how much product we have sold, and not have one case. So you're fine. So when you all hear from, whether they're doctors or even scientists, they don't know about what we do. And if they have Nobel Prizes, they still don't know about what we do, because what we do is we built NuSpecies from zero. We created NuSpecies from zero. We created our products and formulas from zero. So no one can actually tell you what our formulas really are unless we have divulged our proprietary and confidential information. So I understand that all of you are going to have Google Doctor and Facebook doctors and friends and family telling you things, and it's good that you come to us and get verification as to what we actually do. And I implore all of you to always do that. What you hear on the street is not necessarily true. And when it comes to NuSpecies, we're just different from other companies around the world.
Right. Right. Queen Nesta says, blessings to all. Thank you, Aston and Jillian, for caring for all of us. I said, you are very welcome. All right. So we've got a chat from LaDonna Bella Villalobos. Sorry if I am completely messing up your name, my dear. All right. LaDonna says, I had called about my legs. I'm going to do all the cleansing. I'm not sure if she's saying I'm doing all the cleansing things or I'm going to do them. And my legs all the way up to my thighs are hard like wood and I can't get them to go down.
Okay, LaDonna, what you should do, I would like you to get on my calendar as soon as you can. And if you have any lab reports or images, you should send them ahead of time so that we can do a consultation. And if you are in the tri-state and you want to get your consultation face to face, I am mostly in the Bronxville office on certain days, or you can come to Portland where we have another office. I'm not in the Elmont office as much anymore yet, but you can just schedule an appointment and have your labs sent to us so we can make the consultation fruitful for you.
All right. And as I'm not sure, I have you been working with LaDonna before? Do you know, or you have to look her up?
Yeah, we need to. I need to
Get caught up.
get caught up with her. Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Sorry, LaDonna, we couldn't provide an answer right here, but there are some situations that do just require a bit more context to be able to give an answer.
Right. The reason why there could be 100 different things going on, and I just don't want to spend the time speculating because there's just so many things that could be going on. So the best thing is for us to have a one-on-one, and then if we need to discuss it further here, we can do it. But let's have the one-on-one first.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you heard of this before?
So whenever our muscles and tissue are hardening, the way it's being described, it could be a case of chemical infestation, and the chemical and the inflammation could be even homegrown from our bodies. Our bodies make a lot of chemicals, people. Our immune system make a lot of chemicals. That's what they call inflammation. And then that inflammation damage the tissue, damage the muscles, and so the muscles get hard because they're swollen. And that could be part of the reason. So it could be inflammation, infection, chemicals, a combination of all the above. But there could be just so many causes.
Yeah.
And that's why it's not worth speculating about each.
Right. Yeah, I was just wondering if you had heard about it at all.
Yes.
All right. All right, folks, if you have any other questions, you can post them in or comments. You can ask questions about your own health, your family members' health. You can ask questions about our formulas or NuSpecies in general. You can ask questions to me and Aston personally if you'd like. Anything NuSpecies related is up for grabs.
Of course. Of course.
We did send our email newsletter out today. I'll put a link to Aston's newest article that he wrote for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Just he focused on some lessons that he's learned from NuSpecies women. and I'm posting that link now. But also, our email newsletter went out this morning. We linked to this article. I put a little piece in there about some things that came out during Breast Cancer Awareness Month that shocked me. And so, if you are not on our email newsletter yet, you have the opportunity every time you go to our website on the homepage. A pop up will come up giving you the opportunity to join both our email list and our text list. We'd love to have you on there. So please join. If you have joined today on this live stream and you have not subscribed to our channel yet, please hit subscribe while you're here. We want to get to at least 1,100 subscribers before I start implementing any new features that YouTube wants to offer us, because I don't want to be like teetering on the edge of the qualifications for those features. And it should hopefully make our live stream even more useful to you. I don't have any pre-submitted questions this week, but those of you who always forget what you want to ask by the time you join, you can ask your question anytime during the week by downloading NuSpecies app. And on the homepage is a section where you can submit your question at any time that you think of it, and then just join that week and we will answer your question on the live stream. All of these videos stay up on our YouTube channel, either in the playlist called the live Q&A or under the live section that YouTube puts for you right at the top of our channel. So you can always go back to the videos to find the answer to your question if you missed it. Aston, did you have anything else you wanted to add about Breast Cancer Awareness Month?
Yes, and yes, I do. And very quickly, LaDonna, I'll go back and I'll give you a call after the stream. I see that you have a lot of labs in, and we spoke earlier, and I think the end of July. So I'll give you a call after the stream. It ends around 11. So yes, so when it comes to, ladies and gentlemen, let me back up here. When it comes to breast cancer is now the leading cause of death, one of the leading cause of death of women, and especially Black women. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you what you look out for. Whether you are, I have had girls come to me, teenagers come to me with breast cancer, people. And I've had women come to me in their 80s with breast cancer, in their 90s with breast cancer. So anybody can get it. Any woman can get it. A lot of these women had no family history. A lot of them know their family history going back 5 generations, their medical history, 5 generations. And there was no breast cancer, and they get it. Now, a lot of women, people in general, men and women, are getting more sick than their parents. So a lot of the women who come to me, their parents sent them to me, their grandparents sent them to me, and they're more sick. This is the first generation, going back for the last 15, 20 years, where children are more sick with cancers and other diseases more than their parents and their grandparents. And those are the parents and grandparents who are bringing them to NuSpecies. It's really bad. It's getting worse. So ladies, let me talk to you now, since we have a few minutes. And button whenever you want to, Gel, and you can ask your questions whenever you want, whenever if you see you have a question or comment. Now, here, people, ladies, if you have a lump in your breast, if you have what they call fibers that are hard in your breast, a lot of you who have come to me over the years, almost 20 years, your doctor would say they're watching it. And for a lot of those women, the lumps turn to cancer. For a lot of them, while the doctor is monitoring the lump. Now tell me how crazy that is. That you, ladies, don't know that the doctors are just monitoring and waiting for it to turn to cancer. So don't sit with a bomb in your body waiting for it to turn to cancer. That goes for thyroid cancer or thyroid diseases. You have a nodule. The doctor's watching it every 6 months, every year. Ladies, the doctors are waiting for it to turn to cancer, to do surgery, radiation, chemotherapy. You have ovarian cyst. It's not going away. The doctors are going to monitor it. You have a cervical issue. You have endometriosis. It can turn to cancer. If you have fibroids and it's in your body too long, it can turn to cancer. They're lumps. They're abnormal tissues. And yes, I'm yelling at you because I want you to remember this conversation we're having with you. And those are the causes, or those are the conditions that lead to the most cancers. If you have dense breasts, it is, some studies say 4 times more likely to turn to cancer, some say 5, some say 6. So let's say 4, or let's be even more conservative, 3 times. If you have a lump or a nodule or a mass anywhere in your body, and it is 3 times more likely to turn to cancer, you all should be terrified if you have a lump or a bump or a mass or a nodule not going away. All right? So if you have it, you have to get rid of it. You have to change your diet. You have to change your lifestyle. And we can coach you on how to do that. And you may need to take NuSpecies as well. And you may need to take NuSpecies and change your diet and lifestyle, not for 1 month. It could be for 1 year. It could be for 2 years. It could be for the rest of your life if you don't want to die of breast cancer. If you're anemic, you're likely to get cancer because your body doesn't have enough oxygen to power the immune system to fight cancer cells or to prevent cancer from spreading. That goes for other diseases as well, ladies. So if you have hormonal imbalance, you have too much testosterone, too much estrogen, too little progesterone, too much steroids or cortisol, you're more likely to get cancers and any disease because hormones are extremely toxic, especially when they're too much in the bloodstream. They become free radicals. They damage cells. They damage tissue. They damage the genes. They damage the DNA. Even though the body makes them, yes, our bodies can kill itself because of all these abnormalities not being corrected, because the body is in a state of chemical imbalance. Don't forget this conversation. If you have any of these symptoms, don't monitor and just wait and hope it's going to go away. It's not going to go away. It is 99% likely not to go away. It is 99% likely to get worse. It hardens. The blood circulation there get more minimal and minimal. And now the tissues are dying. The DNA is dying. The gene is dying. What's going to happen? It's going to turn to cancer. That's what cancer is. That's all that cancer is. Cancer is an abnormality in our bodies. It could be a cell. It could be a tissue no more than 1 millimeter. So small, you need glasses to see it, some of us. And that's what cancer is. It's just an abnormality that's not getting better. And then estrogen and progesterone cause it to multiply rapidly. And then the more it multiplies out of control, that's what cancer is. It's not a mystery. But guess what? There's no medical system on the earth that can prevent it or can cure it. None.
Right. That's what May
Well,
was just saying. Rosemary was just saying, like, that is so upsetting. It's like they're causing silent murder. And I was just responding to her to say that, you know, they don't have a treatment for a benign lump and there's nothing they can do. But it would be nice if they could explain that when they're telling you we're just going to watch it.
Right. And I'll tell you why. Great point. And this is all, I hope you all just recorded this, even though it's going to be on YouTube. But this is why people, this is why people, the doctors are not going to tell you. The reason the doctors are not going to tell you is because of the economic side to it. And that it's not what you're thinking. So don't think what you just thought. Take it out of your mind. Not what you're thinking. The economic side is the doctor sees a lump in your breast or anywhere, and the doctor say, I'm going to monitor it and watch it every 6 months or every year. If the doctor tells you they can't help you with it, what are you going to do? You're going to go to another doctor. They're going to lose you. They're going to lose their insurance revenue stream because you're going to leave them and go find another doctor. And when you go to the next doctor, the next doctor can't help you either because there's no cure for that. There's no fix for that. Yes, they could do surgery and take out the excuse me, the nodule or the lump, but the medical practices won't allow that. Your life has to be in danger, immediate danger, imminent, and or immediate danger for them to take an extraordinary action to cut into your body or give you radiation or chemo.
Right.
If they
Because in this
do
case, like a
prematurely,
surgery,
you will sue them. You will sue them
yeah. Because a
if they do
surgery
it
could be more
prematurely.
dangerous than a benign lump. There's so many things that could go wrong, whether it's anesthesia or the actual operation itself, the recovery time, infection possibilities, right? Just for a lump that is currently benign. Additionally, doctors aren't going to tell you what Aston's saying because a lot of them just don't know, right? They train in medicine. They're trained to treat things that are treatable, that are legal to treat with the methods they have available to them. What NuSpecies does is not in the realm of their world. And so that's why we're here to tell you you have other options. You have things you can do with your lifestyle to make it so that you
Mhm.
hopefully never need that medical intervention that your doctor provides. That's really the goal is to utilize your doctors to monitor things and give you heads up when things aren't looking great. But ideally, you don't want to get to the point where they have to treat you. You want to avoid that,
Right,
and you can. And that's why we're doing
right,
this.
right. So let you all into a little secret since you're all here. Guess what? Medical doctors are our clients. Blood pressure, diabetes, cancer, menstrual issues, all of the above.
Prostate issues.
Medical doctors are our clients, just
Hmm.
like you. And doctors don't live longer than anybody else. Okay? So there's no medical magic or miracle out there for anyone. Your
Hmm.
best miracle is take care of yourself. If you have an issue, don't make it get worse. Fight it with all your power, all your energy. Fight it. Just so you go to school and study, or you go to work and work like an animal. You work like an animal to get rid of the health issue. Don't let it get worse. Get rid of it. Don't let it sit there. Get rid of it. All right.
And don't get stuck in medical prison because just like you see, Darnett, when you're saying that you're now going through chemotherapy because you need this medical intervention, and then they're telling you not to take B12. Um, so now you feel like, oh, I want to do both. I want to nourish my body and I need chemo, but they're telling me I can't do one of my options. And if you didn't have us, you would have just stopped taking if you were using our products and you didn't talk to us, you would just stop taking them because your doctor said don't do it. Meanwhile, your doctor is inherently talking about a synthetic B12, isolated B12, taking it all by itself, not just B12 naturally provided by food, which is what NuSpecies gives you. So people get stuck in medical prison because once you have a health condition, especially if you're scared and your doctors are encouraging that fear, you're not going to seek out other options and you get stuck. And so we want to avoid developing health issues that will get you caught up in a spiral, a downward spiral that you might not be able to get out of. We do have a question from May. So May is saying she's going through anxiety and stress and cannot sleep at nights. I know I need to control what is stressing me out, but it's not that easy. Is this going to affect my heart and my brain cells?
Absolutely. And let's talk about what stress is. I know a lot of us, we think stress is not being able to sleep or worrying about our children or worrying about, our work or jobs, or worrying about money, or worrying about paying the bills, worrying about family members. That's not what stress is. Stress is what happens when you think about all these things. What happens is that the body produces a massive amount of steroids and cortisol and other stress hormones. And these stress hormones are powerful. They're very powerful and they're very toxic. So when our bodies produce hormones, our bodies are supposed to expunge the excess of those hormones, whether it's even estrogen or testosterone. Those very innocent, hormones can become very toxic if they stay in our tissue, and that's the key there. These hormones, they linger in our tissue because our bodies are too weak. Our bodies are too weak to get rid of the cortisol, get rid of the adrenaline, to get rid of all the steroids, all these excess hormones that our bodies don't need. And that's what stress is, because the tissue now become toxic by these hormones, these free radicals. So the tissues are stressed, the organs are stressed, and that's what stress is the organs, the tissue, the cells, the genes, the DNA getting stressed out by these powerful hormones. And hormones, if you Google it, you'll see that hormones are chemical proteins. And proteins are powerful, as you all know, and chemicals are powerful. Hormones are chemical proteins. They interact with the genes, they interact with the DNA, the cells, the tissue, and they cause damage because they're now inflammation. They cause damage. And when you have inflammation, you can get any disease: heart disease, cancer, prostate disease, menstrual diseases, other hormonal diseases, because now other really necessary hormones your body's not going to produce, the serotonin, the endorphins, the dopamine, all these hormones you need, oxytocin, to balance out the stress in your bodies. They get depressed, and that's the balance, that's the chemical balance between the stress hormones and these, what they call happy hormones, or breach. And now you get any disease: brain disease, heart disease, cancers, because the body is toxic like the environment. Just like the environment, it's toxic. Too much carbon in our bodies, too much carbon dioxide in our bodies, and that's why we get any disease. So stress is when the body is producing all those hormones, and the body can't get rid of them. They cause cancer. Stress kills. My grandmother used to say that, and it took me a whole lifetime to understand what she meant.
Right. And that all those stress chemicals are important when you're running from a bear, when you have to be in fight or flight mode for a serious, real threat. But
Mm-hmm.
stress and anxiety is creating that same fight or flight or freeze mode in your body for an issue that may not be um, like that. So, for example, the bear is in front of you, you run away, your body pumps cortisol and adrenaline, shuts down your digestive system, shuts down all the unnecessary body systems, pumps that blood, and you are flying. But then within 20 minutes, the threat is over, and then everything goes back to normal. When we're
Mm-hmm.
stressed by modern stressors, the bear is always there breathing down your neck and it never goes away. And so you have these very powerful chemicals pumping through your blood all day, every day. And that will kill you. It also affects your gut microbes, which affects your immune system and everything else, especially not just the stress alone, but not sleeping at night. Sleeping at night is important for your brain to replenish and clear out, and for your body to rest and replenish. So it's really important that you find a way to get sleep, May. If you are asking for, you're not directly asking for a NuSpecies solution. So, but maybe you are. So if you want to let us know if you have a question about how we can help. Yes, when it comes to severe stress, there's definitely maybe some therapy or other sorts of emotional regulation, breathing techniques, exercise, things that you might need to seek out separate from NuSpecies. But like powerful nutrition in your body on a daily basis, like what we provide, including some additional herbs that can help to calm you, um, is an excellent thing to have on your side while you're working through all the other things you need to do. So Aston
So
May, yes,
now
how
that
can
we have freaked you all out, we have freaked you all out because
I
you
was
all
gonna ask
should be
you,
freaked.
don't give all the bad news
If
if you're
you
not gonna give them good news.
if if you're not all freaked out, you need to go to the what do you call it, the synagogue or church or whatever you go and kneel down and meditate more because you should be all be freaked out. But we have an answer for you. That's why we created NuSpecies. That's why we have the new Genesis to help you support your genes and DNA. That's why we have the B vitamins that we just talked about with the mineral complex, natural, all natural, or natural sources from whole foods to support your genes and DNA. That's why we have the L new 1 or L new 9 or the L new 25 to rebuild your whole body. Rebuild the L new rebuilds the whole body. That's why we have the anti-inflammatory to help you remove all the stress from your body, the the inflammation that's causing the body. Once you get inflammation, you get infection because the inflammation depresses the immune system. That's why we get a lot of infection. That's why we have these formulas for you. And these formulas, guess what? Except New Genesis that we just started using about 4 years ago in terms of sampling, and now it's officially out. All these formulas have been out there for over a decade, helping thousands of you have been getting help. So we study the bad things so we can create the good things to counter the bad things. So you have NuSpecies available to you. You have, if you work with NuSpecies, you have a diet plan or a diet guide available to you that tells you what to eat, what not to eat, and with lifestyle suggestions in it for you. So you're getting the Trinity that you need to get. The Trinity is NuSpecies, good diet, good lifestyle. If you're doing those and you're doing them consistently and you're doing them well and you're doing them based on our guidance, you have the best opportunity. You and your family, your children, all of you have the best opportunity to live better and live longer with the least suffering or no suffering, like my grandmother, the last one who died at 99. She sat in her rocker chair and slept away. And to some extent, I envy her. I hope I'm that fortunate. But it's my turn.
So
No suffering,
I'm
just slept
linking
away. Yeah.
I'm linking May to the stress pack. I mean, I don't think we have the stress pack on the website by itself, but I told
Mhm.
her chamomile, St. John's wort, valerian, and lobelia. And that's a full tube up to 3 times a day or up to 4 times a day.
At Valerian as well. All four is
Yes,
four.
I've got chamomile,
Yeah.
St. John's wort, valerian, and lobelia.
Yeah.
But usually you can
So,
buy other products. I know that's for people like with high blood pressure and stuff, but if it's just stress,
mhm.
let's say she has no other pre-existing conditions, could those by themselves be supportive, or does she still need to add something
Yes,
in?
she can maybe take the detox and the anti-inflammatory, but she can start with those if she doesn't have the budget to do the anti-inflammatory and the detox. And for all of you who are taking the stress back or will take the stress back that Jillian just mentioned, you should take it right before you walk into bed. Don't take it in the morning. Don't take it in the daytime. Don't take it and drive. It will relax you. So take it. It's all natural,
But what if you're already
completely
like super
natural.
hyped up? Could it just sort of normalize you?
Well, some people take it for that. There are people who have chronic anxiety where they're always just super high and they just want to relax a little more, and some people take it like that. But I still would advise you all not to take it and drive.
Okay. Could they take lower doses and drive?
I would say they should not take it and drive at all. Because one lady told me that she loved it so much, she was drinking from the bottle and she fell asleep at a stoplight.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah. Or she dozed off at a stoplight. So it will relax you. It's completely natural, totally harmless. It just relaxes you, and that's what it's made for. So
All right.
take it before you go to bed, so you go to bed and sleep, as they say, like a baby.
Okay. That's great.
Yeah.
And then let's say she's home for the day on a weekend. Could she experiment with higher doses or taking it throughout the day just to see how it makes her feel?
As long as you're not going to get around the wheel.
Hmm. Okay. All right, May. I hope you hear all of that. All right. Last question we have that we have time for today is from Marcus. Oh no, sorry. We have Marcus and Tiana. And again, sorry, folks, if I'm not getting your names correct. Okay. Marcus says, "Good morning. Thanks for all the information you give." You're welcome, Marcus. "I've used some of your products. I'm a truck driver and I'm having tingling issues in my toes. Is it nerves? And then what can I use for this? Thanks."
So, Marcus, you need to get the new Genesis and the anti-inflammatory. What's happening to you, what's happening to you is that, or maybe you get the new Genesis with the circulation formula. I don't want you to spend too much. So maybe you just get the new Genesis with the circulation formula. So a lot of drivers, truck drivers, taxi drivers, limousine drivers, I hear from them, and even pilots. When you sit in a crunch position, and all of you who are doing it at home, if you just sit home and watch TV, you're going to have the same issue. So you sit in a crunch position, you're not going to have good blood circulation to the lower extremity, so your legs. So when we sit in a crunch position, the blood is not going to flow as well. So the gravity is going to have more power to pull the blood down. The blood can't go back up. And if that happens for long enough, repeatedly over weeks and even months or years, what happens is that the deoxygenated blood that is not flowing, back to the lung, to the heart, to create the urine to get pushed out in the kidneys and in the bladder, that deoxygenated or carbon dioxide filled blood interfere chemicals, carbons. Here we go again. So your lower extremity become toxic, and that toxicity interferes with your nerves, and that's what the tingling and numbness is, or any kind of pain or aches or weakness. That's what it is. The blood is not flowing the way it should through your body, especially in the lower extremity.
So let's say Marcus is driving really long distances. Some truck
Mm-hmm.
drivers do. Would it still be normal to get tingling no matter what you do?
Oh yeah. And so what you should do, Marcus, is you should take breaks when maybe when you take gas or you stop to eat, take a walk. Walk for like 15 or 20 minutes and allow the blood to flow around. Maybe you take brisk walk and allow for your blood to flow around your body for 15, 20 minutes to get back to some normalcy, and take some deep breathing so you can get a lot of oxygen in to oxygenate the blood, because that's what you actually need.
Mm, yeah. This might sound crazy, but when I drive long drives and I'm feeling like I need a break, but I can't stop, I just kind of like squeeze all like my glutes and my thighs and just keep kind of like pulsing them just to get like blood flowing. And I'll like rub my legs and just to keep blood flowing. But Marcus, if you do have any pre-existing health issues, it could be affecting your circulation, then the root
Mm-hmm.
cause is the health issue, and you're going to want to deal with that, which might require a more specific recommendation. So you may want to book a free consultation with Aston anyway, just to cover your
Mm-hmm.
bases. But you really can't go wrong with the circulatory formula and New Genesis, which I've linked to you in the chat. If you go to the website, New Genesis says it's currently sold out. I don't know if it's fully sold out in all of our stores, but I
We
more
I have
you have
in
some in Bronxville.
Bronxville.
Yeah, so
Mm-hmm.
we may not have any to ship today so the website's saying it's sold out, but I think it might still let you buy it anyway, because we have more coming in like Tuesday. So it won't be delayed.
Or you could call in. You could call in and speak
We'll
with
place the
someone and
order
just
for you
order it.
anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, and as soon as
Mm-hmm.
it comes in, we'll ship it to you.
Right. So
Okay.
those pre-existing conditions that Jillian just mentioned, folks, they have to do with if you have diabetes, you automatically have a blood circulation issue. If you have high blood pressure, you automatically have a high circulation issue. If you have high cholesterol, if you have chronic inflammation or infection, these are some of the more common conditions that automatically you have a circulation issue because you have too much glucose in the blood, too much fat in the blood vessels are shrinking because of blood pressure. If you have inflammation, if you have infection, guess what, people? There's nowhere the inflammation and infection going to go. It's going to be in the blood. Everything is in the blood. So all these conditions can lead to a blood circulation issue, and that's why people with these conditions suffer kidney failure, heart disease, brain diseases, and you get the picture. I think you all should be so knowledgeable right now that, like June, you should be able to write your own books from what you get from NuSpecies.
She just replaced her paper on her clipboard. All right. Okay, last question. So this is from Tayana. We may not be able to answer in detail her question, and normally you'll go into more detail educating about the condition, but you might just be able to answer like the exact question she's asking.
Mm-hmm.
So she asked if you can talk about Graves' disease. We're not going to have time to get too much into it, but she wants to know, has anyone ever been cured? And that word usually needs some defining, but we know what she means.
Mm-hmm.
The doctors told her it can't be. So do we have any insight on?
So, so there's no medical cure for any autoimmune disease that I'm aware of. That's medical science is aware of, and there's no um, medical cure for any thyroid issues that's medical science is aware of. So what we can tell you is that we have had people who have various autoimmune diseases, whether it be MS or lupus, and a lot of them are on our website, are on the website or on YouTube. We can go just research and listen to those videos or audios that are there from testimonials we have, where people say their doctors say the issue is dormant or no longer there, is no longer or no longer showing up in their medical reports. The same thing thing go for rheumatoid arthritis. So there are probably 100 different autoimmune issues that are out there, or issues related to thyroid. So we can't tell you that these people have been cured, even though these clients, even though they say they have, or even though their doctors say they're doing great or whatever, because we don't do testing. The FDA does not allow us to track our clients and give you any kind of certainty, like a study. Yeah, we're not allowed to do that. The FDA doesn't allow us to do that. But we have a lot of clients who have various autoimmune issues, whether it's Sjogren's disease or lupus or MS or rheumatoid arthritis. You can just go to the website where they have reported through their doctors, through medical exams, to say that those issues are either dormant or they're no longer showing up in their lab reports. So as to whether it was cured, we will never say that because we don't have any independent testing that we do.
Right. And if you think about the way I think about cure is like you have a disease that's developed in your body, and then you take something on the outside of your body and put it in, and that something makes the disease go away. To me, that is a false concept. It's not really based in the way the body works. I don't find it to be scientifically accurate. So I think we can all get the results we're looking for with our health without ever needing a cure. What happens is if your body developed a disease, it's most likely because your body couldn't fight off the decay or inflammation or whatever the root cause was when it began. And so it eventually developed into a set of symptoms that your doctor could then diagnose as a particular disease. But if you change the conditions that your body was in when that disease developed, your body can now do the fighting off that it would have done originally if it had the tools. And to me, that's not a cure. It's just sort of like retroactive prevention. Your body is just starting to now do the things it would have liked to have done when this disease was developing. So if you can take certain actions to change your lifestyle, add a lot of nutritional tools to the toolbox that your body has to work with, then we have seen where people's autoimmune diseases have ceased to be present. However you want to describe that.
One of the most painful thing, and yes, I feel pain now and again. One of the most painful things that I encounter at NuSpecies is when someone comes to me and said they had cancer and they did radiation or surgery or chemotherapy or all the above, and then the doctors told them that they were cured or that they were now free or that they no longer have cancer. And 1 year later, 2 years later, 3 years later, they have stage 4 cancer all over their bodies. Nothing is more devastating for anyone. So I came to the conclusion long before I created NuSpecies and invent these formulas that there is no medical cure, because my father had prostate cancer. It was early stage, and the doctors did surgery and did precautionary radiation treatments. And 3-4 years later, it was dead. The cancer spread to his bone, to his lung, his liver, his brain. He was dead. And he was told just a few years before that he was cured. And the doctor was certain he was cured. So I don't believe any of you who are listening to us right now should assume that any issue you have is gone because your doctor says so, because your medical report says so, because your medical report hasn't picked it up anymore. I think if you have an issue, you should change your diet, change your lifestyle, and make sure that you cure it. You do what you should do at home to make sure it doesn't come back. Or if you get rid of it, make sure it doesn't come back. It's on you. It's not on your doctors. It's on you. And if you're talking to us now, listening to us now, all of you who have been listening to us for the last few weeks or months, I'm not even going to say years, you know what to do to live better and live longer.
So for Tiana, follows up and just says, like, how can I put it into remission? So I let her know that her body has to do the work. There's a lot of changes she'll need to make to her lifestyle and nutrition that she'll need to add in. And I gave her the information to book a consultation with you or to try to see you in store if she's in the area, so we can get into that. It is 11:05, so we do have to end the stream. Diana just asked a question about the cancer. I did hear that surgery is not that good and that cancer will come back. Is that true?
Let us pick up this one next week.
Yeah, I'll
because
just
I would like to give it the treatment it deserves, not the cancer. Your question.
Right. I mean, I'll quickly say, Diana, that surgery is just removing the symptom. The environment in your body that allowed the cancer to grow is still there. So surgery can be helpful to buy you more time, but it's not a cure. So in that sense, what you're saying is true, but not always true. So like I said, we need to give that a bit more time, but hopefully that will give you a little something to think about. So just a reminder to everyone, Aston, if you have to drop off, you can just do so. I'm just going to wrap up today. Oh, Tiana says, I do live in Elmont. Do I have a phone consultation or can I come in person instead? Aston, I think you might be able to get in some Elmont days in November. Should she wait until then to book a phone consultation?
She can wait, yeah.
Wait until November? So, Tiana, it's up to you. Aston's calendar might be booked a couple of weeks out, which could get us to November. If you download our app, we always announce his in-store days. So you could book the consultation, and then if you end up being able to see him in Elmont first, we can just cancel the appointment. So why don't you do both?
And I'm in Bronxville today. I'm in Bronxville probably next week. So it's 40 minutes away from from the Elmont office. If you feel like taking a little hike over the
Yeah,
bridge, my dear.
traffic might not be bad. It's a Saturday, so you could all the major highways like eventually converge to Bronxville, so it shouldn't be too hard to get there. You might want to look it up and just see. All right, everyone, thank you so much for joining us today. This was an incredible Q&A. We always love hearing your questions. They're so inspiring. They really do help us make sure we're on the right track, serving you properly, and providing lots of beneficial education that we can then carry on to more videos and
Hmm.
articles and things. So you constantly inspire us, and we really appreciate that you're here. I see we've got like at least over 40 people watching right now. So if any of you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, please hit the subscribe button. It gives us access to lots more cool features that will make our stream even better. But YouTube has to think that we're cool enough to do it. So please subscribe to our channel. Also, if you're not on our email or text list yet, please join. All you have to do is go to the homepage of our website, and the pop-up will pop up, and you can put in your birth date so that you can earn discounts on your birthday, and you can join our email and text list. We really don't abuse it. We don't market to you like crazy. We just try to give you what's important. So we'd love to have you on our list. And those of you who can download our app, whenever our stores have a quick closure or our in-store days for Aspen or me change, we send you a notification through the app. So if you can download the app, you'll have all that information that you need. Tyrone is asking if you will be in Bronxville on Monday. Tyrone, no, Bronxville has never been open on a
Tuesday.
Monday. He'll be there Tuesday, if that helps. All right. Oh, yes, thanks, Diana. Hit the like button. Like. I try to ask you to do only one thing to not overwhelm you. So subscribe would be the best. But also if you can like our content, of course, while you're there, just go liking away. We'd really appreciate it. All right, everyone.
And
Thank you
thank
so
you all for being missionaries of NuSpecies and spreading the word to other people. That is now our duty to God, to help other people. All of you.
All right, everyone. Have a wonderful weekend, and we will see you next Saturday at 10 a.m. Aston, you got to do your normal bye-bye.
Bye bye.